Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here, and inside of the Duality dungeon there are a whole bunch of repressed memory collectibles that look like kind of busted bells with this little pyramid triangle thing inside. And this is my guide to show you the location of all of them. Now the main reason you want to do this, especially if you can do this on your first run before you ever beat the final boss, Keitel's nightmare thing, when you finish this triumph, you're actually going to get an increase in the Heart Shadow drop rate, and that is the exotic sword that comes from this dungeon. So you may not do all of the encounters solo the first time, you may not do the master difficulty, and you may not even get this one done, but if you can do this on your way to the boss room, you'll at least have a little better chance to get the exotic, even on your first try, or at least on future tries of that week. So my advice is, if you haven't picked all of these up yet, make sure you pick all these up for your first run each week, that way you get a chance per character. So, inside of the Duality dungeon, we've got... I'm going to use a bow for location, and I'm just going to take you guys through as I go through this thing to show you where. Now, a couple of them are in this opening area, so I'm just going to do this all together just so you guys can see where everything is located. Not really necessary to do this, but at least it makes it a little easier. Now, if you haven't done the Duality dungeon, definitely check it out. I don't want to spoil anything, so do that. But if you are okay with spoilers, I'm going to show you some of the encounters, at least to get here. So when you shoot that bell, I'm going to go ahead and clear these guys out. And then the goal is, as you go through this whole thing, yeah, Titan throwing hammers are a lot of fun. But your goal is to basically go vertical on this entire thing. I'm trying to clear out a few guys so we can have at least a little better run here. A little quieter run. All right, so from here, once you're kind of at the top of the stairs, your goal is to go vertical. So when you jump up, you're going to start going vertical, but you got to kind of go back and forth in the room to find all the locations. And I'll do cuts to the future ones because they're a little bit farther apart. I just wanted to show you guys specifically this one as we work our way up. Just a few things to expect as you come up here. And I'll do a full guide over this dungeon if you are curious about that one, have a curiosity about how to solo it. I will get those guides out for you guys in the future, so stay tuned on the channel. Take out the scions. There are a couple up top. If you take those out first, you can save yourself a little bit of a headache. And then once you come up top, we're working our way all the way to the vertical, like basically where you would, not that way. Now, if you fall, you know, it's not the end of the world. You actually probably can land. Not a big deal, but I just messed up my jump there. Okay, so the first one is going to be once you reach the top. Before you shoot the bell, before I get shot by a scion, you're going to hop right over here to this little, you know, kind of alcove, and then hop over one. And the first bell is going to be right here. I'm going to skip over all of the lore that he says, so if you guys want to listen to that on any of these, make sure you just chill out for a minute and listen to the lore. Other than that, let's get on to the second one. Now, the second one, while he talks, of course, is going to be actually just on the other side of where we just were. So as you leave and you come back up here, and then you flip it, so when you shoot this and kind of get the bell to flip you to the other side, you're almost going to go to the exact same spot. I'm going to kill these guys quickly just with Xenophage. Makes my life a little easier for the video. Alright, so once you're here, I'll go to the right-hand side, and you'll peek down and you'll find this door. This will be involved in the actual exotic catalyst. There's 3 steps that you got to do. One of them is going to be in here, but this is the second bell location, and then I'm probably going to start cutting forward to the future ones. Alright, so when you kind of go through the opening section area, and you'll kind of get to this next room with enemies, you're going to have an option to actually kind of skip ahead, but you're also going to have the option to get the bell kind of a little bit early. So we will have literally walked through that area, flip the bell, and then you'll have like a couple guys. Now, normally you would go right over there, but the bell is actually going to be almost easier to get from up here. So it's right down there, and you can actually skip ahead. You'll actually spawn a few enemies. So instead of going in that doorway, after you flip over to this upper area, all you want to do is just literally try and line up your jump and fall down, and then slowly land right here. And this will be number 3. Alright, if you want to know the best way to kind of get off of this little platform, if you've got a lot of mobility, you can probably make that jump over there, but you need a lot of mobility to get there. Otherwise, what we're going to do is actually just jump here, and then just glide ourselves, whatever you're going to do, jump right over there. Now, this is when you'll spawn the enemies, because I did skip basically getting down here the normal method, but it's not a big deal. So now we'll move on forward. I just wanted to show you guys that one. Next one will be coming up. Got a little bit more traversal to get through. Probably one enemy if it's actually over here. And we will go inside. Now, once you're in here, you're going to be doing a little bit of reversal. Inside here. And right in this room. So that was kind of why they're not that far apart. After this one, we're going to have to do the first encounter. But in this room, you do have one, so you'll have a few enemies. Makes life easier just to kill things faster. Well, I may as well. Alright, now you might want a little bit extra mobility for some of these. So I might bring a little, like a gear set with you that gives you a little more mobility. Make your life a little bit easier. So that's kind of what I did. I had another set of gear that I put a little extra mobility on. If you want a little bit more, it's just a way to have a little more verticality on your jumps and cover a bit more ground. So if you're looking at the front of this structure, all you're trying to do is jump up on one of these little, like, kind of flower plant boxes and then jump up here. Try and just kind of nudge your way up here, and then we're going to jump up top. And here is number 4 sitting up here and waiting on you. Now, after this one, you got to go fight Ghalran, so I will show you where the next one is, which is in the Ghalran fight. So make sure you do not drop down if you fight Ghalran. I'll see you on that when we get to that one. All right, Guardians, so once you have beat Ghalran, do not drop down the hole. What you need to do is actually come over here to the dog's room, and you're going to find your next memory fragment right in here. It's easier to do it after the fight because there's a lot of chaos, but it is right here. And then we'll move forward past this fight. All right, Guardians, once you get to this big, giant, open kind of warehouse of crypts, sarcophaguses, whatever they are, you're going to have some enemies over here to your left. I killed a couple already. Like, I shot a few arrows down there to draw them out. Once you pop down here, you might have a couple more. Go ahead and take these guys out. I'll grab a little ammo, even though I don't really need it. And we're going to go part way through this thing. Now, there's 2 ways to do this jump. I'm showing you the more obvious way. You can also jump literally like on that ledge right there and then up there. And it's really not like a hard jump to make. I'm just showing you the traditional way to get through this place with the switches. But that way is actually not that hard. I mean, if you're not too worried about dying, you don't have too much risk if you're not going for a solo flawless run or anything like that. So it's honestly a little quicker to jump over there. This is just the easier method, or the traditional, you could say. Not so much easier per se, but traditional. Come over here. And when you hit the switch, you're going to have a few enemies come out, so just be ready for that. Come on, big guy. You also got a couple snipers over here, along with another phalanx. Should be able to avoid the phalanx, but nice to clear him out now so you don't have to worry about it. There we go. What we're going to do is we're going to head back now that we've hit the switch. But what we're going to do is go to the left instead of to the right. The exit's over there. Our door is literally right up there. So it's just a little bit of jumping back the other direction. And again, just be careful with your jumps. If you want to add a little mobility, if you want like a jumping exotic that helps you for your subclass, that is totally fine either way. This one, you're going to want to jump out and then kind of float your way back over whichever class you've got. And you'll just hop down right in here and you should be good to go. Now, when you come out of here, same thing. If you feel more comfortable, you could theoretically go back down there. But if you're comfortable, you could just jump here and then land this ledge and then work your way back over. All right, I'll cut ahead to the next one. See you guys there. All right, when you get to this section, you probably just killed a Colossus over there in that corner. What's going to happen is it is below you. But my advice is here is one of those times where you are going to want to slap on some of that movement gear. Just going to make your life a little bit easier for high mobility here. Now, you got 2 different options when you go, but it's just one of those things that if you do this, it's going to make your life a little bit easier. Okay. So from here, go ahead and drop down, catch your fall, whichever jump you got, and it's going to be right in here. Now, to go back up, technically you can make that jump depending on your subclass, but I would recommend jumping up here and then jumping up here And that way you're back up where you started, so you've got a little better line to make it over here. Get a good full run, depending on your subclass. Just make sure that mobility is up. Should be able to make that jump with some decent mobility. Onward to the next one. All right, so once you get to this room, this is literally the entrance area right here. What we're going to do is, for one, I'll show you where the secret chest is going to be. And then two, I will show you how to get to the actual memory fragment here. Missed my jump a little bit, so that's just my bad. But again, what you're going to do is come to the middle and you're going to look for the one that's partially open. That's the entrance. This is the like half open door. So if I don't actually suck at my jump, come over here. Your little bonus chest will be back here. You can get this once a week, I'm pretty sure, per character, so don't need to overpull that one. But if you're standing right here looking back to the middle, when you go to switch this to nightmare mode, all you got to do, don't worry about the standard, that's for the sword catalyst. We'll get to that on another video in the future. Come right back here, and here is your memory. So this one is getting up to be one of the last ones, so let's keep going. And here is your memory. I'm going to go ahead and play the audio. And here is your memory. I'm going to go ahead and cut the audio out playing, and we'll move on to the next one. All right, Guardians, after you have finished the triple boss encounter, don't go down yet. One of your bell memories is going to be over here. So you're going to go to the upper side staircase, look to the left, and you're going to see it way up top, way up there. So our goal is we just need to kind of traverse these little platforms here and get up just a little bit higher than we currently are. Some stick out a little bit farther than the others, so you're just probably going to have to work on kind of getting a little bit of a jump here, slowly working your way up into the ones that will actually let you get high enough. And then once you get up here, this will be the one. Again, this is in that center room. You've got like the triple boss phase. Should cover this one. And onward we go. All right, so when you get into this room with this kind of covered box, all you're going to need to do is just go underneath the covered box. There's also a secret chest down here in case you're looking for that one, but this is the bell. Hard to miss it. And the chest, if you never actually slid down here, is right down here. Again, these are once a week on these two chests. All right, when you switch over and you see this area, kind of came through the covered box area, went down there, went through the little puzzle, came up. You've got these two, and you got a pretty quick access shot to this. You want to make sure you jump to your, look to your right, and you're going to see a little offset staircase. Again, this is kind of the point to make sure you've got a good chunk of mobility. Just to make sure you can make that jump, give yourself any benefits that you can. And all you're trying to do is just slide right over here. And here is the next one as we're working our way down and down. All right, Guardians, once you get to this like set of little rafters, looks almost on the outside of the ship, you're almost to the boss fight, and you've got one more to go. So once you get to this section right here, that would lead you down to the boss room. You guys can see the big chains. We're actually going to go right up there. So again, just get a little bit of a running start. I'm going to start your jump, see if we can get you up there. If you miss, no big deal. And this is your final memory location. Good luck on the boss. If you guys did enjoy this video, drop a like below, share it with friends who may need it. I'll be doing a guide for the dungeon, guide for solo flawless as well, so look for those. If you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit the alert bell. You guys will see those videos come from me along with other things for this season. And if you guys want to find me, you can find me on Twitter or Twitch as well. Thank you to my YouTube members and Patreon subs for the extra support. You guys are awesome. I'll see you soon.